All right, y'all. Once again, we have a dynamic speaker before us, Sister Zodeakus El out of Delaware Republic Territory. All right, today she will be presenting etymology, astronomy, and biblical studies. All right, so we have 4 more classes. Next week we have Sinjeti Ankara for the second time, part 2. And then after that is Brother A.A. Rashid. And finishing up would be, for the 4th time, Commit to You. So actually you have, 3 more? A.A. Rashid. 3 more speakers. 3 more speakers. I say 4. All right, so without further ado, I present to you your guest speaker today in our etymology class at Temple University Pass Up, Sister Zodeakus El.
Peace, everyone. What we're going to go over today is a word called a parable. How many people have heard of a parable? Biblical parables? Okay. Whenever you see a scripture that says it's a parable, it derives from the Greek parabola. Okay? Every parable is a geometric figure. When you look up parable in a dictionary, do you have your dictionaries? I found this dictionary in the trash, by the way, but it's the only dictionary I could find that had a picture of a parable. So it's raggedy, but it works. So I hold on to it. Oh, yeah. If you want to show everybody what a parable is a geometric curve, okay, that aligns star clusters. And the specific star cluster we're going to go over today is the star cluster Pleiades. All right? The 7 sisters. That's right. But it goes deeper than that. Okay? Job 9:9, 38:31, and Amos 5:8 speaks of the Pleiades star clusters. And this is kind of important because the Pleiades star clusters are showing up in December. So you know. In Job 9:9, in his suffering, so that you'll know what a suffering is and why Job suffered. Job suffered because he was in his lower state of mind. It's called your carnal self. Pleiades are the 7 stars of Atlas. Okay? Atlas in Greek mythology was the one who held up the world on his shoulders. Okay, that's the watered down version. However, what it's speaking of is this part of your neck that connects to your medulla oblongata. And when you stay in your lower self, that is where your soul exits your body. Okay? But by knowing, if you know etymology, you will find how to break down parables. Okay? With the Pleiades star clusters, it's based on the power of 7. What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have it right here. Okay, it's also called the daughters of Atlas. And as I was saying, Atlas in Greek mythology was the one who held up the world, the 7 continents and the 7 seas. All right. However, what this is talking about in Pleiades and Job in the book of Amos is basically talking about the 7 ruling planets. Okay. It correlates with the 7 seals, the 7 trumpet sounds, the 7 churches of Asia. The number 7 is recorded in the Old and New Testament 360 times. All right. This is a parable. The number 7 is recorded in the Old Testament and New Testament 360 times. Okay? The preamble of the Constitution has 52 words. 5 plus 2 is 7. there are 7 articles in the Constitution. 7 is the number that this planet vibrates on. You have 7 chakras. All right? Because the whole book of Job is about the number 7. So I can show you what he's talking about in these scriptures and what they mean. I have to write it backwards because that's how I remember it. These are the days of the week. Are you aware of the 7 days of the week? Okay, you know the etymology of that. This right here, where Saturn, this is the first Pleiades stars, which is called the gate of God. And this is called the gates of men. Okay? There's this thing called, when you ask your soul to come back into the flesh, you ask the universe for permission to get a physical body. Everybody's soul enters through Saturn, which is discipline. Okay, that's why they call it the gates of God. The gates of God and the gates of men is the tropic, the common name is the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer, or the solstices, or known as the solstices. Capricorn and Cancer. This is the winter solstice. And this is the summer. Yes, each one is a gate.
Okay.
And the book, and in the book of Genesis, it's called the ladder of Jacob, Jacob's ladder. Okay. These 7 represents what we call, the first thing is Jacob's ladder, which is the 7 ruling planets, and then it's the Hermetic principles. I'm gonna just get the information up here, and then I'm more focused on not informing you, but whatever I give you to transform you. How when you leave here tonight, you can take what I learned and apply it to your life when you walk out this door. I try to make all my classes like that, okay? It will change your life. Okay. Now, to give you the importance of this, each one of these gates have a specific time that rotates around your body. On your solar return, or most commonly your birthday, okay, you are in a cycle called opportunity. Okay, y'all have your dictionaries? And I'm going to show you how to go from gates of men to gates of God. In other words, that means complete in your destiny while you're on this earthly plane now, so that you don't have to come back to this madness. And on your day of your birthday starts with, it's called your sun cycle, or the cycle of opportunity. Can someone look up opportunity in the dictionary? Because it's very important that you know what opportunity means. Does anybody think they know what it means? Opportunity? Because you can use the skills that I've taught you so far. Take your time. Port, close. You have, oh, he's looking it up for you. And then that raggedy dictionary, you can look it up in that one too.
Fit time to do something.
Okay, that's connotative.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Go ahead.
Okay, opportunity is a noun, a favorable or advantageous circumstance or combination of circumstances.
Okay, but I want the origin of the word. That's still connotative.
They didn't break it. Here they don't have the etymology.
All right.
Opportunity, yes.
Okay.
Middle English from Old French, opportune from Latin, opportunist from portum, venine, coming, toward, port. Ob, meaning to, the ob plus port. Causative of port is harbor.
Right. Basically, opportunity is the birth canal. Depending on, the older the dictionary, some dictionaries go back to natus, born, some dictionaries go back to water. But if you look up port and you keep looking up the etymology of the words, when they say C2, you would get back to the womb, to the belly button, which is your only birthmark. But the older the dictionary, the closer it takes you to the womb. And I think that one only goes to placenta, that book, Placenta and Fetus, that raggedy dictionary. But what I'm saying is, the older the dictionary, more to the truth you'll get to, all right? And it's very important that you look at various dictionaries in order to know the real, true origin of a word. Opportunity starts on your solar return day or your birthday. Every 52 days, okay, is a cycle. Every 52 days is a cycle. Okay, the first 52 days of your life is called your opportunity cycle. And that cycle deals with your character and your reputation. During the first 52 days after your birthday, that's what you're going to work on. However, it gets tricky. In Black Laws, are you familiar with Black Laws Dictionary? Okay, well, you have Abdullah, you got to be. In Black Laws Dictionary, editions 1 through 4, character and reputation is a part of your moral obligation, or what is called jurisprudence. Okay, when you come into yourself and you know your name and nationality, you can sue somebody for defamation of character. But if you're not nationalized, you can't sue no one for defamation of character because you have an identity, so to speak. Okay? And that's what the real book of Job is really about. That's why we suffer, because we don't know who we are. That's why Job suffered. That's why everything was taken, but in the end, everything was given back when he went from the gate of men to the gate of God. Okay? And, you know, it's really interesting. You know, the Bible says a lot. Not what, if you don't mind me saying, most pulpit entertainers say, but you can get a good message out of it if you know etymology. You can't get it without it. You know, so this, I'm just showing you the importance of etymology. Okay? Now, I mean, I'm not for or against any particular religion, because I can also break this down in the Quran, the Torah, you know, the Rig Veda as well. But however, I do the Old and New Testament because most people are Christian that I come in contact with in Delaware. You know, and I want them to see this is not abomination, deviation, and the work of the devil. The only work is the spelling that they do with that pen and that cursive writing. That's the curse and the spell. It's called grammar. You know, and that's one of the liberal arts. And astronomy is one of those liberal arts. Okay? Now, when you're in the first 52 days of your cycle, which is your opportunity cycle, not only is your character and reputation That is the point where you want to get out there amongst people in high positions, when you want to be recognized. During that period, more people are like to be drawn towards you when you have something powerful to say. Okay?
Is that 52 days before your birthday?
No, starting on your Earth Day, 52 days. Okay, so your Earth Day would be 1. Okay? Because okay? And then on the 365th day is the actual start of your next birthday. You got to keep in mind, a parable deals with measurements, okay? And our calendar system is off by 18 years and a fraction, okay? But if you go look back at Job, if you want to know what this is, this will be the vernal equinox, or spring. And during this period, the vernal equinox was entering Taurus and transiting from Aries. Okay? Okay? That was this is the closest chronology that they say, but somewhere along the line, I know it's much older. But we're just going to go with that for now. Because in 1944, all of that changed when they started using the atomic clock. And then they added wartime, and then you started springing forward and springing backwards. And then in 2008, before Bush left office, he wrote an executive order to change daylight saving times to November 1st. Did y'all notice that?
Yes.
You didn't notice that? It used to be in September. Now it's in November. See, he changed time again so that you can't be aligned with the planets. And you can't get your chakras aligned. So all the yoga you're doing, all the breathing is for naught if you don't know what time it is. And this will get you back in tune with the cycles of nature, because that is what time is created from, the cycles of nature. So don't go by that clock. If you see the clock, it has 12, which is the 12 zodiac signs. However, go by your cycles, okay? Because it's very, very serious, because we're in the middle of a spiritual warfare. First they took our bodies, then they took our minds, now they're coming after our soul. It's serious. And this can get you back on track, okay? Because you'll be in tune with the Most High, you know. And what is so interesting about this, because in the book, in the New Testament, this parable corresponds, it says comparison. That's what a parable does. So anytime you have any scriptures and they call it a parable, it has to correspond with something. It needs another scripture to compare it with.
Right.
The scripture that this goes with is, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Okay? It's the grand architect of the universe who built her house without tools, eternal. And they said that in order for us to remember of her existence, she created letters and numbers. That's how the Greek translated. I am what I am, therefore I am. That's what that means. It's a little Masonic code. Okay? Then the comparison with Amos 5:8 goes with 1 Kings, and it's 7:11 through 14. When it goes, I'm a son of a widow from the house of Naphtali, and Naphtali is Virgo. So now you understand where the son of a widow comes from. Okay, it's in the book of Kings, but you need all of this in order to get to that. You know,
I am the son of a widow.
I'm a son of a widow from the tribe of Naphtali. Naphtali just means Virgo. It's an Akkadian word. It's an Akkadian word. And then also, like, well, when we get to that part, I'll go over that. I don't want to move too far ahead. The next one, well, let me finish with the sun cycle. In that sun cycle, like I said, it's about your character and reputation. Please look up character and reputation in law. Not just what the regular dictionary say, but how it pertains to the law. Because I tell people in my class, if you say something about me that's not true, I am a nationalized Moor and I will sue you.
Go ahead, girl.
So you better get your morals straight. You know, because Noble Drew Ali said that our thoughts, our words, and our hands should never bring harm to another. And that's what character and reputation is all about. You know, because I work hard to build my character and my reputation. And I don't want it destroyed. You know. So it's about being a humanitarian. You know, like I tell people, you know, the only helping hand you're going to get is at the end of your wrist. You know, and that's how you build your character, by doing for yourself first. It's called self-preservation. Okay, and that's what the sun is about. Because it doesn't ask you, can it come out every day? But it preserves you, correct?
Yes.
All right. Can't exist without it, correct? All right. The next one is the moon. Now, this is a very, very tricky thing. Is everybody familiar with their zodiac chart? Have everybody? Sort of? Okay, you never had a chart done? All right. Well, when you get your chart done, this will make more sense, you know, to you later on. But it corresponds with your astrological chart because everybody was born with instructions. Okay? You made a contract with the universe.
Yes.
And that contract said you promised to the universe you was going to learn a lesson and teach a lesson. If you don't do it, you coming back. My thing is, I'm trying to teach everybody about our ancient science, so we ain't got to come back to this. And the ones we leave behind, we can leave this behind so they don't have to come back. You know, that's uplifting for all of humanity. You know. The moon sign, your moon sign deals with your emotional security. This is what you inherit from your mother while you're in the womb. Whatever your mother was going through for the 9 months she carried you, it is embedded in your DNA. Because, believe it or not, in every ancient mystery school, okay, the child was brought here to teach their parents something. So say if you're a Virgo, you was here to teach your parents how to be more perfectionists. How to complete things, okay? Aries was to teach their parents how to stand up, have a spine, don't let nobody push over on you. Taurus was about possession. You know, you ain't got to be broke. You really don't. You got intelligence. Come on, Mom. Man, you all that creativity, imagination, and you say you ain't got no money, you can create money with your mind. You know what I mean? Gemini teaches their parents to communicate because most likely when they created that child, they did not know how to communicate. That's what Gemini's here for. I feel sorry for them. That's where I am. I'm getting there. Yeah, we're scary. No, no, we're not. Leo basically teaches people how to shine. The world is a stage, and I'm playing every part. Okay? Virgo, I went over that. Libra is more so, you've been unfair to me, and I'm going to teach you that you're going to give me justice. You're going to respect me. See, Libra, that's one thing about Libras. They demand respect, even when they don't deserve it. You know? When we move on to Scorpio, Scorpio is about destruction and rebirth. They're what you call cleaning out, spring cleaning. Look, you ain't used it in 7 years, throw that mess away. What is wrong with you? This is too much clutter. You can't breathe. And if you don't get it out in time, you come home and your house is empty and everything on the curb. They don't hold on, you know, because my mom's a Scorpio. And she wake us up in the middle of the night. It's like, if you can't carry it on your back, it ain't going. We moving. So I lived it. You know, when we did a lot of moving. And, you know, she's like, we can start over. They got resale stores in every state. They got Goodwills all over. We can start over. Because she never believed in packing. She's like, and anyway, whoever move in this house, they might need it. She always left something behind. That's one thing I love about Scorpios. They're not greedy. They don't eat. They won't even eat all the food on their plate. Because somebody else might come in 10 minutes later and be hungry. You know, I learned a lot from them as well. Sagittarius. Oh, those dear philosophers. Sagittarius is a beautiful sign, but they philosophize a little bit too much for me. You know, I mean, they use reason and logic, You know what I mean? And they are the opposite of Gemini, you know. But however, when they're not conscious, Sagittarius can be deadly because the centaur with the bow.
Yes, indeed.
Their words cut and sting,
Yes, indeed.
you know. And you'd be like, dang, what did I do to you? Did you really have to say it? But really what they're saying is good for you. But I didn't need that right now. Don't you see I'm already doing bad? You know, but what I love about Sagittarius, their thing is it's not about the fall, it's how you get back up. And that's what that teaches you, okay? Capricorn. Capricorn's whole thing, they're the solitary ones. They stick to themselves. They're your organizers. They don't want to be in the forefront, but they know how to do everything and they know every damn thing.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that witness over here?
That's why if you want to be a good friend to a Capricorn, buy them a book. You know, music and books is their thing. And they're often assumed to be non-emotional. They're not non-emotional, they just take life serious and don't feel like crying over the small stuff. Keep it moving. Okay, somebody die every day, keep it going. I'm still here. Oh, I'm sorry you lost your mom, but look, hey, I'm still here. My children's still here. I got to keep it moving for the living. You know, and then sometimes we get a bad reputation for that. Because they be like, you don't care, you don't like nobody. Nah, I'm just saying, for real, I got my own problems. You know, and Capricorns is very abrasive about it at times. You know, but we mean it from our heart. We really do. We really do. Aquarius. I just look at Aquarius as, man, what am I doing here? You know, they're like, you know, that's the best way. I mean, because it's the water bearer, and a lot of people think it's a water sign, and it's not. It's an air sign. You know, but they're like, what the?
Actually, it's electricity.
Yes, it's electricity. And they will use it, won't they?
Yes.
You know. So being around Aquarius, I like that because sometimes when I get in my indolent stages where my confidence level go down, like especially if I'm writing a book, and I'll be like, ain't nobody gonna read this. I have my Aquarius friends that I can call that'll zap the energy in me and I get right back up and my confidence built up. So that's why I have Aquarius around me when I'm in my writing stages. Because they're honest, they tell you the truth. They be like, that sucks. Okay. You know, they won't say, well, you know, that's good. You know, just because they're my friend. They are honest, and that's one thing I love. Aquariuses really don't lie. You know, and if they tell a lie, you can best believe it was done to save their life or yours. It's survival. Basically, the last but not least, Pisces. Okay? I didn't, yeah, I did Leo. Oh, I'm sorry. I know, but, because that rules the moon. Okay? Okay? Pisces. Basically, Pisces like, dang, when y'all gonna get it? I mean, dang, how many times are you gonna repeat this? When are you gonna get it? See, 1 + 1 is 3. Man plus woman is child. When you gonna get it? Because we still saying 1 + 1 is 2. Pisces like, no, it ain't not the last time I checked. Because I'm a woman, that's my man, and we got a child. 1, 2, 3. When y'all gonna get it? Get back in tune with nature. That's the Trinity. See, that's what Pisces is about. They get into their spiritual, and they stay in their imagination a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Because sometimes their imagination and creativity hurts them and hinders them from accomplishing things on this carnal planet. Because they're so far up there. You have to bring them back down. They're like a balloon. You got to tie them down sometime. Because they get up there and they don't want to come down. They really got to learn how to balance the divine and below, above and below. You know, that's why Pisces have to be around other water signs, Cancers and Scorpio, as well as earth signs, because earth accepts water. Okay, so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces has to be around a Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn in order to stay balanced. If they don't have those elements in their life, they're unstable as water. You know, Cancer, ruled by the moon. Whew, those emotions. The moon rules everything. All things consistent of water. This is a water planet called Earth. Your body's mostly water. Water is the most powerful element, not on the planet, in all the galaxies. I mean, it's a solid, it's a liquid gas. You can boil it, you can freeze it. You can do so many different things with water and it still come back to its natural state. Okay? The most powerful thing about water and the moon is because 777,777,777 sperm came out of your father's sac when he ejaculated and you made it. You made it. You made it. Okay? That's all controlled by the moon. Okay? That's what a parable of Pleiades is really all about. That's what Job was talking about. And if you read Job and how he lost his children, each one is assigned to a planet. And in Revelations, the rebirth of those 7 planets or those 7 gates is called the 7 churches of Asia in Revelations. And when you got it right, in Revelations, Jesus is standing there with 7 stars in his right hand, getting his swagger on, leaning. It's like, come on, babies. You in the gates of God's. Come on home.
All right, yeah.
That's what all of the twirling of the stars are, is in Revelation. Don't get spooked out. It just means your chakras align. You went from your lower self to your higher self. You had DNA explosion. Your pineal gland said, pop. Okay? It's just getting in tune with who you are. That's all it means. And that corresponds with chapter 25 of the Circle 7. Because 2 + 5 is 7. Okay? Now, with the moon, you know, have you heard all of the hoopla about the moon lately? Now, I'm trying to figure out how they saying this is a new discovery when it's written on the temples in Peru. It's written on the temples in India, Hindustan. It's written on the temples in Brazil. How is that new? I mean,
They didn't tell us.
It's new to them.
oh, okay.
They didn't tell us.
Just like they tell us Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is new. But it's proof that the Babylonians knew about the energies that came from those generational planets. But they got us believing this and especially with Pluto, they wanted to stop it from being a planet, and that's so that you wouldn't go into self-mastery, get into your Dalai Lama state. Okay? That keep you from going to the 9th level or getting in tune with the feminine. Okay? And it's also called fennel. Have you ever heard of fennel? The oil that Mary Magdalene actually rubbed Jesus' feet with is fennel oil. But the old Bibles, you have, that's where it says fennel in the old Bibles. But fennel derives from the word feminine or fetus or feotis. It's the applied science of 9. Okay, a man has 9 holes in his body, a woman has 12. Okay, that's what all her anointing his feet, his soul, the sole of your feet is your soul. You know, don't be, it's verbal magic. Because in original dictionaries, you know, that's how it was read. Well, not dictionaries, biblical references. All the ones before 1931. Because in 1970, it was 2 Vatican councils called the Codexes. Yes, okay? Those 2 councils in 1970 is the Bible that most people are programmed by today. They had another council in 1944 to begin the 1970 council. So Nicaea Council is good to study, but you better study that one from 1970. It's serious. Because basically it's matriarchal apartheid. That's all they're implementing, another phase of the King Alfred plan. You know, so you want to study that. Oh, Mars. Okay, well, your moon sign, you know, starts on the 52nd day after your sun cycle. Okay, on the 53rd day, it starts your moon cycle, so you know that. Okay, so you on your paper, you should have these planets listed, and then 52. 52 plus 52 is 104. And that's what? 56, and so forth. Because you're going to get back to 364. And then you're going to read these exact chapters, chapter 3, chapter 6, and chapter 5 in that order in the book of Job. And it will unlock what they call the Orion Star Belt. You're going to read these just as this. But keep in mind, you're not going to just sit there and scan over these scriptures. You're going to use etymology. Okay? You're going to look up every word. Okay? Yes. If you do it 7 minutes a day, it takes 7 months. Okay? That's Bible study. Bible study is not sitting up here and throwing scriptures back and forth. This is Bible study, knowing what a parable is. You cannot figure out none of this if you don't know the geometric or the mathematics, or also what they call, it used to be, a parable used to be called a ritual.
There you go.
Okay? Comes from the word right, from arithmos. Arithmetic. And then I found out something other too. And you heard of numerology, correct?
Yes.
Well, numerology is called arithnomancy. That stuff that y'all get off the internet as far as numerology and all of that, that is not numerology. That's a bunch of mess to get you out of tune. And then another word for it is called bibliomancy. And usually, we don't have time for that, but when we get into bibliomancy, we break down what biblos means, break down the Phoenicians and all of that. Okay? So that'll give you something to study when you're studying the Bible. And I bet you, if you actually study the Bible, you'll know more than any preacher out there. But the difference is you'll be telling the truth. You know, you won't be programming the people, you'll be setting them free.
You know, sister, I know that you don't have a lot of time limitation and bullet points, but really, people don't really understand what studying is.
Exactly.
We've never been really taught to study and how to study. You're touching on it a little, you know, the base, the foundation, but you're sending them and say, go study it. Won't get studied because they don't know how to study. We don't have a diagram, you know.
Right.
We've never been taught how to study.
Well, this is what this diagram is. It means study yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you want to study, the first thing you should study is you. Stop trying to know everything and know everything about yourself. And don't get wrapped up in different things that other people get wrapped up in. Whatever draws your attention, whatever you have an interest in, let that be your goal. Don't try to know what he knows, she knows. You don't get anywhere. And all that jack of all trades and master of none, that's to keep you in the American dream, and you must be asleep for that. You know? You gotta, that's what sovereign conscience is about. That's the moon. You know, getting away from that emotional insecurity that you got from your mother in the womb. Because if your mother was victimized while she was pregnant with you, that's in your DNA. And you get the first 7 years of your life to cleanse it. Now, what if you didn't have anybody conscious around you to help you? You still carrying that on. I guarantee you, it's everybody holding a pain from pre-adolescent stage. Everybody here is holding one.
And that's what the psychiatrists prey on.
Well, and psychiatry is based on astrology. Your id, your ego, and your super ego is your sun, moon, and ascendant. Y'all call it Freudian. And he slipped and bumped his head. And that's a Freudian slip.
And what did you call his terms? Id, ego, and...
Yes. Id, ego, super ego. Okay. Another person who added to it was Jung. And then that girl, Auguste Comte. She created sociology. Another idiot, savant. And by the way, when I say idiot, in Black's Law Dictionary, an idiot is one who has no knowledge from nativity and never expected to get any. Okay? So when I say idiot, that's for people that don't know who they are and don't know their name and nationality. It's after Mars, 156 plus 52. There you go. Keep it going. See? You see why this is a ritual. You got no arithmetic. 5, see what's that? 0, carry you 1, 7, 270 plus 52. 208. 208, yeah. See? Because if you're not doing arithmetic when you're looking at parables, you're not doing anything. In order to study the Bible, you got to have etymology and arithmetic. Even Job tells you everything is veiled. The divine universe said everything's veiled in letters and numbers. That was what moved you forward. 208. Jupiter 260. 312. 364. No. Yeah, that's right. 364. Yeah. 52, 104, 156, 208, 26. And, you know, in the past, I used to play those numbers. Because there's a certain cycle, like, what is it, your Mars cycle? For good time for speculation. If you play the lottery during those 52 days, you're more likely to hit. And by the way, we invented the lotto. It was invented by Hammurabi. And then they changed it to a raffle. Etymology, to show you that. It's called lots, shooting craps. Okay? That's one of the sciences of the Magi. Yeah, they was playing lot with these numbers. Okay, you know how you get from what they call the voodoo store, and they give you oils with Bible scriptures? You don't sit down and read the Bible scripture. You find out the value of each letter added up, you get that number. And those are the parts, it's either you have 206 bones in your skeletal system, and then also your spine. Those numbers correspond with a part of your bone structure, your skeletal system. Okay? Because your bone marrow is what makes blood. It's down in your, all knowledge is in your DNA. Okay? It's not voodoo. But then who do like that voodoo like the Moors do? You know, so that's what I say. Dealing with Mars. Mars is a good time for you to overcome your rage. That is your third cycle. Okay? During that period, you will have a lot of energy. So it's a bad time to start new things, but it's a good time to clean up. Okay? If you got a lot of things on your plate, this is a time to clean your plate because Aries is like new beginnings. If it has no use, they're going to get rid of it. If they cannot utilize it, it's taking up space. Okay? And that's what that cycle's all about. And Mars is also the original planet that rule over Scorpio. So keep that in mind. Do not let their reconfigure, the way they reconfigured the zodiac to knock you off, because a lot of people's like, well, that's Jupiter and that's Pluto. Yeah, but that's not going to get you in tune with the universe. That was created in 1884 at the Brussels Astronomy Conference. And they're having one in February here in Philadelphia. All the high astronomers in the world. It's coming here. Oh, you're not invited, though. You're not invited. Yeah. No, actually, you can go to the building where they had it, and we put a circle around it and then tear it down like the 7 walls of Jericho. 7 times. Use that energy. Absorb the energy from each planet. You know, wash your hair clean it, because that's our antennas, and then storm that thing 7 times.
Mars is the original planet that rule over
Scorpio.
Okay.
It's Aries and Scorpio. Yes. I mean, we did it in Delaware at a particular location that was not putting out positive energy, and a couple weeks later, it was gone. So, you know, the power of thought is the most powerful thing. That's better than using physical force. You know, that is your 911, 777. You know, Mercury. Woo. Well, the so-called United States of America is ruled by Mercury. It's a Gemini. Okay. That's why, you know, when they talk about the Declaration of Independence in July 4th, well, actually, the Declaration of Independence actually started taking effect in June 4th. And the astrological configuration for Philadelphia during the time of that writing is Gemini. Okay, so keep that in mind. Mercury is also called Nebo. That's where Moses died on Mount Nebo. It's also called Nabu or Nabi. Oh, and your word for it is? So you're going to either respect the prophet or you're going to make a prophet. Okay, that's what Nebo is. When Moses died on Mount, when Moses is really Thutmose, what that was saying, he crossed over when Mercury was in retrograde. The same thing Martin Luther King said, "For my eyes have seen the glory and the coming of the Lord." In his speech,
Yes.
he knew he was going. He was calling on Mercury. I'm out. I didn't seen it. I'd have been to the mountaintop. Ping! Masonic. He was throwing us a message too. Even though he was not doing positive law, when he realized he was not doing positive law, he did not know how to tell us because they cut off that part of the speech. He said, "Oh my God, I done took my people in a burning building and nailed it shut." And he failed. Okay? Okay, and where was he assassinated at? Or where did he smoke weed at? Because that's what assassin means. That's all it means. Marijuana, hemp, the assassin. Oh yeah, assassin means get blazed. That's all it means. That's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with all this ching, ching, ching. They were potheads who sat around and read a lot of literature and killed people verbally. The tongue is mightier than the sword. Don't believe the way they have reconstructed history, people.
Did you say prophet, and did you say because of Patmos? Did you say Patmos?
Patmos? No, Thutmose. Moses was really Thutmose.
Oh, yes, okay.
And like with Martin Luther King and Moses, he was assassinated in where? Where was he assassinated? And Memphis is what? Where all the pharaohs was buried. The Valley of the Kings. It's all code. It's all in your scriptures too. They assassinated him based on a parable. You know, when you get into Albert Pike books, you will understand what the grassy knoll was because Albert Pike, John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King was all assassinated at the age 39. 3 + 9 is 12. It goes back to 3 to the Trinity, separate the mind, body, and soul. Okay? It was planned. That's what the grassy knoll is. That's how they started off. Okay? And it's all based on Job. You know, so that's why we just over broke. So don't be getting no job, study Job. Because you got to go to work, but most likely 7 days a week to survive. You got to deal with these planets every day. You know, I've had people who's like, well, the Bible says we're not supposed to study this because it's the devil's work. You know, what day you go to church? Sunday? Oh, okay.
Since you're saying about the systematic thing about the Martin Luther King, what about Obama? Is that astrologically?
Yes, that deals with the 13th Amendment, the 16th Amendment, and the unconstitutional 20th Amendment. It's called lame duck. Okay? And it's called the draconian star constellation. And draconian laws is strict laws. It's another Greek word for democracy or plutocracy. Okay? But that goes under the Orion star belt. That is what in Christianity they call epiphany, the manifestation. And Congress meets back on January 3rd of every year, but originally the Constitution says it's the first Monday of December. Okay, you would really have to, etymology again. Okay? You got to know what the word apportionment means versus enumeration versus a census. 2010, the census is starting. Okay, and before I finish, I'm going to close out with that part. So, because I want y'all to leave here with something that, you know, can help you. You know, so this is not just about me throwing all these words up here. You know, I'm gonna leave you with something. All right. So when you count these numbers, make sure y'all have these. And when you get home, you're gonna sit down with a calendar. You're gonna count these cycles. Okay. And then I'm gonna make sure the little simple charts from your birthday, every 52 days. So it should be easy. Because most calendars have numbers on them. So it won't be hard. If you can't count from 1 to 52 7 times, something wrong. But Sister Ashira, don't many people fail it? No, for real, it will drive you nuts in the beginning. Because you're looking at, right, you know. Because we only look at the calendar to see where we need to be at that day. We're not using it to plan. Oh, and by the way, this is how New Year's resolutions, this is where this came from. And also the 7 days of Kwanzaa, which is supposed to be an all-year thing. Because each Kwanzaa principle you're supposed to study for 52 days. Okay? From the 26th to the 1st is when you do the review of the 7 principles, what we're doing now. Okay? And then starting on January 1st, that's when you start the 52 cycle for Kwanzaa. And each 52 days, that's what you work on a different principle. And it's called Ngozi Saba. Nguza Saba. Saba. Is the Sabaeans. No, it means seven. Yeah, it just means 7. Saba is,
Saba means 7.
right.
Who's, the
Okay, yeah, right. But Saba is actually longitude and latitude. It's called the 14 pieces of Osiris.
Oh, okay.
Okay, from the gates of Thebes to the 3 pyramids of Giza, 90 degrees. Saba. That's what Saba really is. And it's also the root word for Sabbath. Saturn, the 7th day he rested. And Sabbat. Okay? Is there anybody in here familiar with their scriptures? See, the thing about this, after I teach this class, most people get back in that Bible and be like, ooh. Okay, it's called Succoth. The Jewish people, they also spell it this way. We call it Red Monday. There is no separation of church and state. Okay, at the end of September, when Congress, isn't it funny how Congress always recess during Jewish holidays? And then in September, after vernal equinox and all their high holy days, and Succoth, which is really Pleiades, that they all the 9 Supreme Court justices, keep in mind that number 9, okay, they go to the Catholic Church with the Jews and the Muslims in Washington, D.C. It's called Red Sunday. The following day is called Red Monday, and that's when they get back on the bench. But the bench is turned upside down on Sunday, so no law is interpreted. There's no separation of church and state, you know, because all 3 of those religions that come out of one, okay, they meet and they have a day of unity, and we can't do it. And they using our sciences. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Okay? Jupiter. Okay? Jupiter is a planet, basically like a lot of people say, it's your blessings. But if you don't do anything to get those so-called gifts, you're not going to get them. It's not like Jupiter pops out the sky and say, bling. You have to put some work into it. And in astrology, a lot of people misinterpret how they explain Jupiter. They're like, yeah, Jupiter is where you're going to get money, you're going to get that car, you're going to get that. No, you had to do something. It's just going to make it better for you. It just don't make it happen. Idle hands get nothing. You know what I mean? And they do the devil's work, right? Okay? Now, the thing about Jupiter is wherever your Jupiter position, like with mine's, okay, mine's is in Scorpio. Anybody who has a Scorpio sun most likely will be my best friend. And most of my best friends are Scorpios. Jupiter is the planet to tell you who your real friends are. So wherever your Jupiter placement is, you study it. And you look at the people in your life and see if their sun or moon is in that sign. And I bet you they got your back. You know, and it's also, if you're in relationships, it's good to know where your mate's Jupiter is. Because, you know, when some women get jealous when their men talk to, and vice versa, talk to other women, that woman could just be shining on his Jupiter. He's not cheating. She just knows what to say for him to communicate. And the same thing for the woman, where her Jupiter sign is. Because, you know, those are the people we communicate with, our Jupiter alignments. And a lot of relationships end because we don't know astrology. We don't know who, ourselves. A lot of relationships can make it, And, that's what astrological counseling is all about. Okay, Venus. Oh, my beautiful, beautiful Venus. Lucifer. Okay, that's the original name for Venus. It was called Lucifer, the illuminated one. Okay, the morning star and the evening star. In Isaiah 14, when he says that, oh, how thou hast fallen, O Lucifer, he's talking about Venus standing parallel with the moon. It ain't got nothing to do with some angel named Satan falling out the sky and got kicked out. No, it's a conjunction, okay? And when Venus is standing high, it happens every 7 years. When Venus is standing high like that, that's when your greed comes out. Everybody. You're greedy. Your greed come out. If you ain't conscious and stable, that's when your greed come out. It happens to all of us. Yeah. We don't want 5 M&Ms. We want the whole bag. So when you know that when you being greedy, be like, Venus, sit down, man. You're supposed to go in there and just pick up 1 peppermint, not a handful. When you pick up a handful, that's Venus messing with you. Okay? We all been there, have we not? Okay. And that's the beauty of Venus. During that cycle, most people are focused on literature, fixing up their home. That's the best time to redecorate your house. Because, when I'm in my Venus cycle, I paint. And right now, in my house, every room a different color. I mean, it's bizarre. It's gold in one room, blue. We got yellow, right? The fence is green and yellow. Then we got the bathroom is now, and somebody spit up green. It depends on where I'm at. We need those colors because it's 2 men. I'm the only female, and it's 6 men in the house, 7 of us. So I got to hop from room to room where that color can keep my chakras. Because that testosterone, woo!
Where do you learn best about the colors in their energy?
Actually, the Kemetic system is good, but I think the one that is the most powerful, should I say, you get the better results, would be the Hindu. Start with yoga. Well, that's more Chinese. That's dealing with the string of 8. That's a little bit more complicated. This is beginner, baby steps. So, you don't never give a baby a steak. So I'm going to spoon feed you. But you're absolutely right when you get past this. Because you're not going to be able to activate that until you know there's 7 cycles. In other words, learn 7 before you jump to 8. Okay? And that's what Jacob is telling you about the ladder. And Ezekiel tells you the same thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, Saturn. Saturn is so important because if you do not master Saturn, you're definitely coming back. It is the planet of discipline. Okay? Saturn will never give you more than you can handle, but it will knock you the hell down. When you get in those periods where nothing seems to be going right, you get in the car and go somewhere, there's traffic. Then you go around the traffic, it's a manhole, it's a hole in the ground. Then you get around that, it's something else. Saturn says, sit down. Because when you first went outside to get in the car, your mind said, I should stay in the house today. And you didn't. So Saturn keeps going, boop, your heart hit it. They call that the house of the ancient ones. When our ancestors be talking to us and we don't listen. And by the way, to get in tune with Saturn is coming up too. December 1st. And I'll explain that. Do anybody have the time? No, just.
7:58.
Oh, okay. I just don't want to miss my train. Okay? Because this is a lot of information. And then if Abdullah invites me back, we can do part 2 and go in depth with it. Okay? It's the house of the ancient ones. All right? And the book of Daniel is called the Ancient of the Days. You ever heard of that? Well, these 7 planets is the Ancient of Days, okay? So that you'll know that. Okay, this is, has anybody ever heard a little ringing in your ear before? And they tell you it's tinnitus? No, that's the ancestors talking to you. Those Europeans don't know Jack, but they want to give you something because as soon as you go to them, they be like, oh no, we got to stop that. Whoa, back up. And then I was reading this book that was written back in the 1700s about the ringing in the ears and how it's the ancestors saying, you messing up, I'm here, baby, call me. I got your back. And they want us to cut off our connection with the spiritual umbilical cord. Are you crazy? And that's all it is. Because as your chakras get aligned, it gets ting, ting. And what's the original name for the ear? The original name for the ear.
We don't know.
Tambourine.
Now, hold it.
The eardrum.
Now, you know how the ringing in the ear, it comes and then it goes right away, then it comes and goes right away. Well, what about if it stays?
Then that means your solar plexus is not spinning. It could be spinning, but in the wrong direction. You got to detox, y'all. You need magnesium in your body. Okay? All women right now, y'all need magnesium because they done took it out of everything. Because magnesium is what has us doing this. We can't concentrate. We have to get back to liquid magnesium and complete nutrition because there's no way for us to get magnesium. But you have to keep in mind it's the part of the King Alfred plan. They're trying to destroy us. Okay, so that's why people be like, yeah, but what can I eat? Nothing. They taking it out. You just got to go and get the real magnesium and take it. And I'm telling you, it's nasty. It hit the 5th taste bud under here. But it's worth it. I mean, it will have you all day like, ooh, it leaves a taste in your mouth. But the thing about it is it makes you stronger and it builds up your immune system. You know, another way to start off with is called brewer's yeast. And that tastes like dirt. Brewer's yeast. And you really need it. You're a Capricorn. But you need it with calcium and potassium.
So that is still salt.
Yes. But complete nutrition. But I like the liquid better. To be honest, you can get it on the internet. Just type in complete nutrition. You know, it's like they say it's $75 a bottle, but if you buy 3 bottles, it's only $25 a bottle. Buy 3 bottles. do the math. You know, but they get people like that because that's be on the first page, and then people pull out their cards and. But if you keep going to the 15th page, you'll see the discounts. You know. Because we're always fast because they know you're lacking magnesium. You're not going to sit there and study it long enough. You know, so they use it against you. Right? Saturn is so important. It's your cycle of rest. Okay? When you are in your last cycle, your rest cycle, which is the last 52 days before your next birthday, everything you do is going to fail. You're supposed to chill. If you really think about right before your birthday, how you feel? Don't you feel? And then when your birthday comes, you're like, yeah, it's my birthday. Well, that's that Capricorn. That's that inner depression. You got to get in tune with your moon sign. But that's just a Capricorn thing. We're just loners. It's all right. You know, but we scale the mountaintop sure-footed. We steadfast. You know what I mean? We take one step at a time. It's okay. Everybody else is zooming past us, and we'll be like, dang, how did I get all the way over there? Well, then that's something in your moon sign, too. You know what your moon sign is? Okay, so you got to find out your moon sign and everything. So that has a lot to do with it. Okay, are you a December or January Capricorn?
December.
Oh, okay, that has a lot to do with it. You need this, too. Well, everybody needs it. You know, but by you being a loner, I bet you can't name 99 people you know, can you? That you know. I didn't say people you are acquainted with. Because they run on the 99 attributes.
That I know?
Yeah, 99 people that no matter what got your back.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know that.
But that's the goal for Capricorn, 99 friends. I got 99 problems, but really, it's the 99 attributes, the 99 beads, the rosary. Capricorn starts off the year January 1st, and it ends the year. It's called the tax season, because nobody makes income, just like you don't supposed to pay tithes, because tithes is 10% of the income. Y'all make wages.
So you're saying that this, I put in routine, not supposed to be done.
You should make tithes at all. The 20th Amendment ruined that. You don't get an income. You get wages. You're servants. Yeah, you're in bondage. So when the church say you got to pay your tithes and offering, but the dictionary says and the Bible said that it's supposed to be 10% of my income. We ain't got income since 1933. I don't owe you nothing. Now, it does say out of your wages, you're supposed to add to the building fund. That's why the building fund is always there, and there ain't no building. That comes out your wages, the building fund. But ain't nothing got built. Okay? Not 10%. You're supposed to, a free will donation of your wages. It's not 10%. Those people that is called deacons of the church, they pay 10%. Not you, not the congregation. Hey, if you're going to walk like a Jew, do what a Jew do. You know? Just don't be a black Jew. Huh?
I said Malachi 3:10.
Yes. And also in Deuteronomy. Yeah, it's a parable. It has to have something to compare it with, a comparison. So you know. 18. Just read the whole chapter. Because it'll tell you what all this is. Sorcery, witchcraft. You know, it's like,
So why are they against it so much? I mean, why is it?
because you won't need that hit every Sunday. I mean, everybody go to church on Sunday. They get that hit. They feel good. You got to go back and get another hit next Sunday. They don't give you enough to keep on moving. They don't give you the 7 cycles. And if you know this church, and for anybody who's ever been to church, they go over the same 101 chapters from January to December. And then Noble Drew Ali wrote the 101s to break that spell. Okay? That's what the 101s is really for children, to get you from being programmed. And they won't talk about Jeremiah unless they asking for some of this. Okay? When's the last time you heard a minister talk about Daniel and Revelation? What about Ezekiel? Oh, well, then how come they can't tell you the truth? They won't even touch them books.
They don't touch that.
What? Why? See, once you tell me not to do something, me and my hard head, why? So they can tell you you're the most powerful thing on the planet? That if you teach a woman, you teach a nation? The church is set up to suppress you. So why would they give you power? Why don't they talk about Ruth? Now, Ruth is one of the first lessons you learn in the blue degrees. You know, no matter what Masonic order you in, theirs or ours. You start with Ruth. How come they ain't starting with that in Sunday school? When you talk about the Canaanites and Moabites, they say that the people, they triaglodite niggers. Triaglodite niggers, monkeys. A nigger. That's what they teach, that the Canaanites was niggers. But now we know what a nigger is. It's called the MSG, because they created mononucleosis, syphilis, and gonorrhea. And that's in the Bible. Look up the Horites. Look at any Bible dictionary, and it'll tell you the white disease ones. H-O-R-I. See, etymology will unlock all of that. That's true Bible study. That's the triaglodite niggers. Okay, that's where you can find it in the Bible. Also, it's called the Jacob's experiment, Jacobian experiment as well. Yakub. It's the whole Testament. Just look in your Bible concordance. Yeah. It's too many to name them all. Just look it up. And what they were talking about them in churches, they use it and make us believe that they're talking about us. They flipped it on us. You know, and then most of the ones that are standing up there preaching, for the most part, they do know. Because they're preaching, not teaching, right? So you're not going to get this because they're to preach to you, not teach you. And how you can tell the difference is when you go to a church, any church, ask the pastor, minister, whatever, did you go to a theological school or seminary? Because seminary means sperm, semen. So that means they got it from a testimony. Testimony means testicles. They got balls to tell the truth, basically speaking. Those who went to theological school, they are programmers. So it's good to know where they received their education. If they say, oh, I went to the seminary of such and such, be like, oh, see, then why you ain't talking about nationality? Because I know you know. What's a parable? Oh, I'll talk to you later, sister. We'll talk later. I'll take you out to lunch because they see that I'm a threat to their congregation. Okay? But those are simple things you can ask. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to disrespect them. Well, Red, what school you go to? And then don't respond to the way he wants you to respond. Just be like, oh, that's very interesting, and walk away. Let him be bewildered or she be bewildered. Walk away. Because they always going to remember you because they know.
Yes.
Why she asked me that?
Yes, yes.
And then when you come back next Sunday, oh, they're going to point you out in the congregation. The Lord got something for you, sister. You're going to be the favorite person in the church. Trust me. Because they be like, what is she going to tell? What she know? Biting their nails. I like doing it just to keep them. You know, I go to all the churches. You know, just shake them up a little bit. But then again, I also volunteer for the children's Sunday school. And this is what I teach the children in Sunday school while they up there listening to the preacher. You gotta get it in. You gotta get it in. And this is how I started all of this. Okay?
From that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the time I get done with those little kids, they'd be like, oh, if you ain't more, you less.
And that's where you actually need to start it at, because children, you know, their way of deciphering things and really discussing, I mean, they would get it better at a younger age as
Right.
opposed to,
And then use the Bible stories that they have for children.
That's right, it's there.
You know, like David and Goliath is the 5 cents or the quintessence of the law. That's the 5 senses coming together like one stone and hitting him in his third eye.
Yeah.
You know, so I just tell them the truth. And I just make little jokes and cartoon characters, you know. And then I know they from the street, so, you know, I'll be like, come on, yo, let's keep it gully. You know, I talk the way they can understand. You know, and then we talk about the pants sagging in the back. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Well, it's basically to get your spine out of line. That's why it's a fad. Because, see, if you look at these brothers, they're apes. And it was my baby brother who opened my eyes to this. He used to have his pants sagging, and then he said, man, I got to start dressing. You know, I got to get my thing right, my swagger back. I can't be doing this with my pants sagging. You know, I'm 30 years old now. I can't be looking like that. And he went to go put on a shoe. This is Stacey Adams, and couldn't walk in them. Because he's so used to this. And dragging. It destroys you don't have a swagger. You know, back in the day, the brothers had a walk. You be like, oh, look at that. Now they just got the gorilla thing. Yeah. When's the last time you seen a brother with just his swagger? And then you can't help it because you don't see it that much, and you just be like, damn. You know, reminisce. You know? Because I said that to Abdullah today. I said, I seen you all the way up the street. You got your swagger. Because he owned his wall. You know? No, but most conscious brothers have their natural swagger. Because they're confident. They hold their head up high because they know who they are. Their spine is straight. Their chin is high. So they don't have to do this. You know? They come to you strong. You know, and that sagging pants thing, they just don't even know it's psychological warfare.
It's physically also, it's their knees.
Yeah, it bends your spine, osteoporosis, okay, and calcium in the back of the kneecap.
Yeah, because they have to throw their legs
Right.
a certain way to make sure the pants
I didn't make them,
don't fall off.
right.
I just
Yeah.
peeped it. I have a shop in northeast almost.
Mhm.
So a lot of young bucks that come up in there, and they have to. I was looking, I said, how you gonna run from the police, man?
Mhm.
Or some girls, you done.
They jump out right out of them. I seen them do it. They have sweatpants under it. I seen them in my neighborhood. And the police come, they walk right out of them. You didn't just let about a $50 pair of jeans, like your DNA ain't on it. Like the cops is not gonna pick those pants up. I mean, it's oxymorons. But I've seen it, you know, but they don't realize it. You know, it's just like the way that they wear their hats, you know, with it sitting on top high. They don't even know what that symbol means. Only thing you're saying is you're a mark. You know, white T-shirts looking like pen, you know, sheep's headed to the pen. Attention. Pay attention. Because everybody out there got on white or black T-shirts. No identity. They have an identity crisis, but they don't know who they are. And then, you know, and I see girls, young girls out there, they be like, I got the green baby fat, so what, she got the purple. You still ain't got you.
That's right.
Oh, my gear in style. Style, what happened to class? You know what I mean? Because everything you got, somebody else can get. They got it at the mall. You know, so you really don't have something that nobody else, well, I had it first. No, you didn't. The person who created it did. Try creating something. Even buy you some no-label jeans and put your name on them. How about that? The only thing you gotta do is get on the bus and go to China, the fashion district of New York, 2 hours away. Because my aunt used to work for the jean factories here, Levi's and all of that, here in Philadelphia back in the day. And she said they had this big thing with all the labels. They made one kind of jeans. It's Jordache, Levi's, Wrangler. It's all the same jeans, and they just sew on different things. Yeah, well, you still can now. Up in New York, you can buy them. But you got to buy 144 pair at a time. Ain't that something? What a number. Or is that just 12 dozen, 12 times 12? But they say it's 12 times 12. Yeah, gross. Yeah, but 144,000? Okay. He who has wisdom, let them calculate the number. Ain't that what it says? Something like that? 666 as well? And by the way, 666 is not even a number. It's called Hamel. It's a constellation. This is the familiar name for it. Yeah, that's 666. Holding a star like this and like this. In other words, he's holding the womb. And on the top of his head, he got tattooed Louis cipher. And then it's Venus right here. It's not evil. You know, it's the new moon and the full moon. It's called Hodesh. Y'all do it every year at Thanksgiving as well. You know. Oh, that's a lot of stuff up there. Do you?
I want to ask you, if somebody asked about Obama. He's a Leo, and his wife's a Capricorn, right? So I'm
They
a
running
Leo.
things.
I'm a Leo, right?
Okay.
I'm attracted to Capricorn, but also with me and Aries, you know, we do
Right.
like a lot of like Abdul's Aries, I'm Leo, so we just
Right.
follow me.
Your fire signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Capricorns is like
They're about their business. They get things in order.
Yeah.
Leos like to shine, and Capricorns is the manager, the one behind the stage. If you want to look at a Capricorn, we're the puppet master.
Okay.
We figure out what everybody's position is, and we put people in their rightful place.
And you said that's what Obama is?
Well, he's a Leo, but his wife is a
His
Capricorn.
wife's a Capricorn. So I was just thinking, you mentioned earlier.
So
about
she's the
your friends,
president.
Right, she's the
That's
president.
what I said.
She's the president, and he's just the actor. Read Othello by Shakespeare. You know Othello the Moor? And who else was a Leo?
The other guy.
The first black president.
I'm trying to say his name.
No, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Y'all know what black mean, right? He was the first black president, correct? He played the saxophone, right? But he was the first black president.
That was crazy.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, color.
Yeah. Now, for the Obama thing, everybody has this? Okay. And I'm going to show you how to utilize what you learned so far. All right? the detox. Colon, liver, spleen, and kidneys. Just dark green vegetables for 14 days in water. That, what is it called? Kanaga water is best. Pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice for the first 8 days with water. Rosemary tea. And I usually mix it with ginger and chamomile, and I drink it at night.
Ginger and chamomile.
Yes. There's this thing where I've done a lot of studying on about detoxing, how they tell you to get your liquids in before 6 p.m. and before you go to bed. Sure. Before you go to bed. I have found that that's not true because according to our ancient ones in the Kemetic system and the Babylonian system, we were supposed to drink as many fluids before we go to sleep because your body heals at night.
Yes.
And when you wake up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you're getting out all the toxins. The Europeans got us doing it backwards. And now we got diabetes and all of this because those toxins is just sitting there. And don't take cod liver oil or eat liver to get your iron back. The liver is to detoxify your body. It's a landfill.
That's right.
So why are you going to eat somebody else's landfill? Because whatever that fish, that cod got from, the toxins he got is going to you now. And you take cod liver oil and you put it in a styrofoam cup and watch the burn a hole out the bottom. That's what it's doing to your inside, and they talking about it's healthy. Well, why burn the cup up?
Well, that's why you put it in the capsules now. They don't let you see that. They have cod liver oil.
Exactly, that explains it. Remember back in the day, you used to get it in the bottle. 7 C's is the best one because those are raised for homeopathic purposes. And it comes out of Canada. It's called 7 C's, 7 chakras is lining on the back of it with the planet Mercury.
Wow. That's why they don't want you to get nothing from France.
Right.
So you
They
said
don't-
you should go to the restroom in the middle of the night?
Yes, at least twice. There's nothing wrong with getting up and go to the bathroom. When people be like, I don't like getting up in the middle of the night. No, do you know how bad your pee smell when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? It smell. And it's dark and raunchy. Yeah, don't you want that out? That's why, and the only time that the toxins can, what they call break down, is when you sleep. It's just that simple. Okay, now, how many people have heard of a farmer's almanac? How many people have one? Oh, you need update. Do you know how many people know how to use it?
That's why I look at it.
Actually, for where you at right now to start, this is a good place to start. It's really simple. I mean, an idiot can get it. And then it'll make you an idiot savant. Okay, in December, okay, the Pleiades star constellation is going to pass across the moon on the 28th. You will be able to see it with the naked eyes. The Pleiades star cluster. Past the moon, you will see the moon, but you're only going to see 6 of the stars because one is fading. On the 28th of December. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes. Will pass over the moon. You'll see it around. As soon as the sun, well, not the sun go down, the earth turns, you will be able to see it. Okay? Because this correlates with that Job 9:9. Also during December, okay, how you know Pleiades is shining bright. You ever heard of once in a blue moon?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have it in December. It's going to be a full moon on the 2nd and the 31st. Now, the 31st is very detrimental, okay, because it's going to be a full lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse, when the cosmos opens and throws down those ethers, that cosmic dust, whatever you think and whatever you're doing is going to stick with you for the next 7 years. Think right. Oh, yeah. 7 years, baby. That's why I said this lesson is really important. Okay? Next 7 years.
Did you say December 31st?
Yes.
Black Fox Day.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And it's a full long night, too. Okay? And the thing about it is, the best thing to do on that day is hit some drums.
All right, I got them. I got that.
You know, get it on. Get your dance on. Get your dance on. Get your vibration up. Vibrate, people.
Okay.
Vibrate, people. Okay. Also, on December 13th, a lot of people will be having pain in your hips, your lower back, and your hands. It's called the Geminid meteor shower. It is so beautiful. Did I spell that right? Yes. But if your body talks it, it's not beautiful because you're going to hurt. This is why it's a good time to start getting fluids in your body and green leafy vegetables. I highly recommend it. Anybody know what kale is? Kale greens? Get kale, right? Take your kale and freeze it a little bit. Cut it up and mix it with some lemon and olive oil and sea salt. Make a salad out of it. Let it marinate. And then sometimes I use a little bit of vinegar. Let it sit in a jar in the refrigerator for a couple days and eat it because that really starts the detox process. Yeah, you can buy the DVD. And you coming down Saturday, aren't you? You coming down for the lecture Saturday, aren't you? Yes. You should be there? Okay. You have me for a whole 4 hours. Okay. Also, what this corresponds to, so that you know, this also corresponds with the Bill of Rights. It will be a good time to study the Bill of Rights because Mars, Leo's is going into Mars, and in the Bible that says when the lamb lays down with the lion, that's what that parable means. It's just a consolation term. There ain't no real lion and some little sheep laying down.
So on that day or just studying it?
During this, December
During
period.
period, okay.
December is chock full of nuts.
And you said study what? During that month? December?
The Bill of Rights. Because if you study the Bill of Rights during this period, you will retain what you study. Yes, you will retain it. The energies in the universe will allow you to attain it. Yes. Well, the whole month will work too, but the 13th through the 17th is most powerful. Do I have any Geminis in the room? Okay, Sagittarius, Geminis and Sagittarius. Okay, y'all gonna be in the most pain.
Oh, man, I can't go home now. You got a room?
No. Oh yeah, I do got a room for rent.
My sister, you know.
A Leo living with 2 Geminis?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sister.
They let you shine though.
He's the maid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's spoiled. Rotten, yeah. Well, you know, Geminis get spoiled or they do the spoiling. Because my baby brother, 34, and I don't think he's ever brought his own pair of shoes. Because from when he was 10 years old, he had a hole in the bottom of his shoe, and I told him that I always do it for him. I kept my promise, you know. So that's why he comes to me. Yeah, he would say, but when he comes to me, he'd be like, what size do I wear? But that's the baby. We got to protect him, though. He's on fire. You know, he's a Gemini Aries. Yeah. He keeps me on my toes. Also, during December, you got to be very careful because with that 2 full moons in December, it will have you making wrong decisions. Okay? Because on December 31st with the blue moon, you got to keep in mind the first Mercury goes in retrograde from the 1st to the 15th of January. So that means you don't deal with no contracts. You don't make no heavy decisions. Your intuition will be higher. Listen to it.
31st to when?
From the 1st of January. Because the 31st starts it, that full moon, and then from January 1st to the 15th. No contracts, no businesses. Don't make any major decisions.
Oh, in the new year.
Right. Because with this alignment only comes around every 2,555 years. 2,555 years. And y'all get to live through it. And that's what the whole book of Job is about. That's a parable. See, but just by me learning what a parable is and learning about Pleiades, I got all of this. You need etymology. You need etymology and arithmetic. Like a lot of the stuff that I already knew, but the stuff that Abdullah have given me and Brother Muhammad has just taken it to another level. You know, it's like, oh, it's like I had all this information, all these pieces, but I couldn't put the puzzle together. And Abdullah gave me all these video sheets that he copied, and I was just on my porch banging each one out, going back, you know, studying it, going back and forth, and then it just kept going, ting, 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 ting. I was like, oh, wait till they see me 2010, you know. So etymology, it doesn't matter what your skill or your craft is. No matter what you do, you need etymology, and you need arithmetic. That's true. That is the law, not true law. It is the law. You don't have to say true. It just is the law. Like you don't have to say real money. It's just money. Right, it's being redundant. It is, so I like that one. Okay, any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, you said you're going to do Obama and Michelle.
Okay, I do that. Obama and Michelle. Based on their constellation configuration, Leo and Capricorn, that has a lot to do with what's coming up with next year's Epiphany, the gift of the Magi. It happens so many cycles. It's called the Syro cycle. The Greeks call it the Metonic cycle. Okay? In my father's house, there are many mansions. A mansion is 28 it's 28 revolutions or 235 lunar revolutions completely. Okay? It's a parable. You need arithmetic. No, I had it. They got it in their notes. I had it written down. You know, I'm explaining it because for the ones who, okay? The best thing for you to study, okay, and trying to understand that alignment is Article 1 of the Constitution. Know what the Senate and the House of Representatives is all about. Capitol Hill is named after the 7 hills of Rome. Okay, Capitoline Hill, the Temple of Jupiter. So Congress runs by the energies of Jupiter. Okay? And the energies of Saturn. You ever heard of the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction? Every 20 years a president was assassinated? Okay, that's Capitol Hill. That's why the Bible was divided into chapters and verses. Kaput. Cut off the head from the body.
Wasn't Bush aligned up for one of those?
Yes, he is. He was a Gemini. Yes.
He was supposed to be assassinated?
Well, he's an air sign. See, when the rest of them was assassinated, okay, they were earth signs. They were all Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It shifted with Ronald Reagan, which is Aquarius, which is an air sign, but he got Alzheimer's. He lost his mind. Okay? So all the symptoms that relate to an air sign, that's what's going to happen to them every 20 years. He ain't skipped nothing. But you can already see he dumb as a brick. Duh. His mind is in space. He's an airhead. Okay? So they're going to lose their mental faculties. What y'all call the 12 disciples. And most people just think that the 12 disciples are the 12 zodiac signs. It is so much deeper than that. It's the 12 cranial nerves. Okay? It's your 12 cranial nerves. Okay? It's what aligns your pineal gland, your medulla oblongata. Okay? It's anatomy. Okay? And it's related to your endocrine system. What did I do with that? Endocrine. What did I do with the pen? E-N. And please look up the etymology for this. You'll learn about yourself. Because the man's testimony, okay, and prostate is the woman's ovaries. Showing you that we are balanced. Basically showing you that the man had a womb, you know, the first 3 months. You know. Please study that because they're going after that. They started in 1936 with the orange carrot. Attacking your endocrine system.
Study that.
Yeah, study it. Study your body. Study you. in 1936.
Was the carrot yellow before that?
It was it's what you call a parsnip. Yeah, an orange carrot is a manufactured, genetically manufactured to break down your DNA structure.
So they're not good for
No, that's why people be like, I got carrot juice. Okay. Coleslaw? Nah, just do the coleslaw without the without the carrots. Iceberg lettuce was also created then too.
Yeah.
You know, so keep that in mind.
You know, how to break down the Mayan calendar years, like how to,
Short year, long year?
no, how you define, like say, whatever year you was born, you want to find out as far as the Mayan or Egyptian or other systems. Can you give me the formulas for that?
That's a long process.
But are you finished with Obama and?
No, that's a real long process, but there are many books. Magic Mathematics is a book you can get at Borders. It's like $16.95.
Magic.
Mathematics. And then another one is called Math for Magicians. And they give you the whole breakdown. Because me giving you the formula is not going to help you, because when you get home, it's going to be some things that you're going to need to go with that. And it's best to have it in front of you. But you can really, you know, it's not rocket science, but you need to know it in order to get it.
What was his question about?
About the Mayan calendar. Okay? Now with the Obama thing, okay, that's based on the lame duck amendment. The 20th Amendment, I gave you that. Okay? That amendment reinforced the 13th, 16th Amendment, unconstitutional amendment. And also the 20th Amendment was implemented the same time they took the gold off the market, May 5th, 1933. If you add 1 + 9 + 3 + 3, you get 7. Okay? And they did this same ritual with Michael Jackson. Because the day he died, you add all the numbers up, you get 7. They didn't bury him for 70 days, you add up those numbers, you get 7. It's a Masonic ritual. He was 50 years old, 7 and 5, the 7 loaves and the 5 fishes. What Ezekiel we talking about, and then we talking about the spinning wheels. That's a ritual. And it's the ritual of St. Michael. Now, if you keep believing what they telling you about something gonna drop out the sky and like save you, I'm just being honest. If you see some European with long stringy hair drop out the sky in a dress, you're not gonna say that to my Savior. We're going, pew! Be honest.
The ritual of Saint
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah. Go to a Catholic church. They don't hide it. You got to. They just gonna say it in Latin.
Yeah.
Increase your skills. That's what I do. I go to St. Patrick's. And they give you the English version, and I just sit there. I know I'm not in tune with them, but I keep trying. But it increases my Latin, and then now when I see words that have a Latin base, I really just start singing the Latin songs. It works for me, you know. Just Saturday, perfect example. Saturday we were talking, and they were asking me how to remember denotative and connotative, because they were having confusion. Sister Hajanika. I said, well, denotative is orange juice, 100% pure, no concentrate. Connotation is Sunny D. You know, that's how I remember it. I like orange juice better than Sunny D. I don't want it concentrated, you know, watered down, you know. So find something like that where you can remember it, you know. And then as I take it further, when Abdullah is teaching, I take notes. On one side, I got a black bean and red bean. And then I figure if I master all these words, I can make myself a meal.
Okay,
You know, because I like eating, y'all. So that's what works for me. But find something that works for you. And then you'll catch on to stuff a lot faster, you know. Just remember, everything is going to be in groups of 3s or groups of 4s. 3 + 4 is 7.
What's the 5? Where do 5 come in?
Well, 5 senses, so you can get to your 7th sense, clairvoyancy and telepathy.
3, 5, and 7.
Right. But you got to get that 3 and 4 first. Yeah. Because the 3, okay, and then it's an eyeball. Okay, the triangle and the square. The 3 is called ternary. 4. When you put them together, Okay? And in the Bible, okay, because they're states of mind. First is the tent, then the temple, then the tabernacle. Conscious, subconscious, superconscious. It's all within you.
Which one's conscious?
The tent. You know how they say the Jews went out in the wilderness and slept in a tent. The tent means they were in their lower self. Okay. And then the temple, your subconscious, which is ruled by your moon sign. And then when you master the power 7, the tabernacle doors will open for you. Ask, seek, and knock. See, that's Bible study.
Yes,
The Ancient of Days.
yes, yes.
Okay, and this is what in Kabbalah they call it, Atik Yomin. Okay, and then okay, that's the Islamic, so to speak, Trinity, dealing with the 3 and the 7. Arm, leg, arm, head, the quintessence of the law. Okay? Because the star of knowledge that it was really following is not the house of Bethlehem, like they say, or the star of Bethlehem, the house of bread. That's what they changed it to in 1881. It's the star of Prudentia. Okay? And I'm gonna put this over here because this is important. The 5-pointed star in ancient mysteries, okay, is okay. That's what the 7 and 5. The 7 in the Bible represents the 7 cycles, the 7 ruling planets, and the 5 is the quintessence of the law or master and jurisprudence. And that's part of your character and reputation. However, a lot of people get it confused based in law. I'm going from Black's Law Dictionary because they don't study. Okay? Because if you know your etymology, those words would not trip you up. Your personality is based on your moon sign. Okay? This deals with chattel slavery, movable property. If you're not in tune with your moon sign, you're in bondage to your sun. Okay? It's a divine and national movement. As above, so below. You can't separate it. Okay? And that's what the 5-pointed star represents when you get to the 17th degree of Scottish Rite, York Rite, Masonic crap. Freemasonry crap, put it that way. All right? Any other questions? Yeah, I know you. Go ahead. I know, it's all right.
The devil, what,
Adversary?
how does the devil come into play?
It just means adversary. Your lower
Is this
self.
a real person, you know, the real entity?
Just like the people in the Bible ain't real people. They're personifications of energy.
Etymology.
We'll clear that up.
Clear all that up. That's not, to answer your question, etymology will clear all that up.
Okay, let me tell you who the devil is. You ever been in a store and you stole something?
Yeah.
That's the devil. The action stealing is not the devil. The thought is the devil. Because even if you don't walk out the store with it, it's the thought. Everything begins with the thought. Never let your thoughts, your words, and your hands bring harm to another. Like your mind, body, and soul are one. They're not 3 different things. Okay? That's the devil. Just thinking about it. You be thinking all devilish. That's all. It ain't no man with no horns, dressed in red, looking like Mars. You know, that's not true. And anyway, Mars deals with panic and fear. Okay? That's what Mars radiates when you're being negative. Anytime you panic or you have fear, that's Mars hitting you. All right? Everybody have a good time? Yes, time for me to go.
I had a good time. Not good. I had a
Great
time. Man. Sister, right on.
Bring her back.
I don't mind. I can do part
Oh,
two.
man.
I can do part two.
Wow. You put this on so I can.
Yes. And if anybody's interested in the septenary, I do have one of the septenary books over there. And if anybody wants it, I can give them to Brother Abdullah, and he can bring them up if you want to purchase them. Okay? They're $10. But if you don't get it today, make sure he has it to bring back. Okay? You're very welcome.
Man, I don't know how to bring her back. We got a full schedule.
That's all right. We
gotta-
can just have a lecture at a different place. That's all right.
No, let me work something out. I'm gonna work something out. I'm gonna work something out. No, I'm talking about here. I gotta work something out. Wow. I gotta commit to you, because I can't cut A by she. No, I'm gonna work something out here. I'm gonna work something out.
I'm not going anywhere.
All right, y'all. Sister Zodeakus has to leave. She has to catch a 9:22 train. Well, she and Ashira have to leave. All right. So that's why we ended early. We did start on time. We actually started at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock we started. All right. What time? 6:59. We started at 6:59. All right. So you actually got a full time in. We actually started on time. All right. This has been great. I must say, I want to get some feedback from you next week on how this semester has been. This is the first time I've done this. I've only taught one class. I've always had guest speakers, Taj. Taj would come in for 1 or 2 classes, but this is the first time where I've had 7 guest speakers, and I've only taught one class, and this has been great. It's actually been great, So I can continue. Sister, you're gonna take her to the. All right. So we're gonna start packing up. All right, so we can go. So we can continue the class. Any questions? Let me give you, because we have some time.
Actually, I got to do a consultation with her because I got to see what kind of chart she needs. It's not just that
One of the areas. Let's look at this. Oh, you know what? No, this is what I'll give you.
Can I say something?
Yes.
For anybody that comes down Saturday, Sister Ashira will be doing numbers based on the DNA of your name, of your nomen, how each letter in your name has a vibration. That's her specialty. And she will be doing that for you to come if you come down. It's called the genetic power of your name. How your name is. Do you have any more flyers? Yes, ma'am. That's the one you have. Okay.
All right, etymology of law. All right, this is what I did in Delaware on Friday night. All right, I started the class off. Friday night was my first class of 8 weeks. I'm on 8 weeks, right?
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Constitutional etymology,
Yes.
and then 9 weeks or something else.
Whatever. I mean, hey.
I just don't.
All right, this is what I did. What I did was so that you can have a solid understanding of connotation and denotation. What I did was I connected some legal terms, all right, to each side. All right, I'm going to give them to you. Denotation, we're going to make sure you get these, all right? We're going to have the notes for you, all right? So we're going to make sure you get the notes. All right, denotation and connotation. All right, this is here your natural child, all right? The antithesis, adopted child. All right, so this is the natural meaning, all right? This is the adopted meaning. So I'm just using here. So this is your natural child. So what I'm doing is drawing analogies, all right? So connotation is when you adopt a meaning into it, but the adopted meaning can never have the birthright, or the adopted child can never have the birthright. The birthright always is passed down to the natural child. All right? So you have two children. One is your natural child, one you gave birth to. That's denotation. And then you have another child whom you adopted. And then the descension of the wealth goes to the natural child. All right. Another. This is Aboriginal. Alien. Aboriginal, this is the ancient meaning, applies to the ancient meaning, or the ancient Aboriginal, or the ancient inhabitants of a land. So we apply that to meaning. Aboriginal is the ancient meaning, whereas an alien is a what? A means A is not, that's your prefix. Lean, bind. So it's not tied. It's not tied to the land, naturally. Whereas an Aboriginal is tied to the land, all right? Naturally. Or a denotation, a denotated meaning is tied naturally, all right, to the word. It's tied to the word naturally. Whereas a alien meaning is not tied to the word naturally. All right, another one, foreigner. All right, foreign, foreigner, native. I'll put here immigrant. Indigenous. Oh, let me do it the way I did in Delaware. I'm going to give you the etymology. Indigenous. All right. This is it. Greek. Your NA. All right. KIN. All right, now, this G here is clipped. I can't recall the linguistic methodology. All right? This is the linguistic methodology. Stripthosymbolic, I believe that's what it is. All right? When this is transliterated from Greek to Latin, all right? That G is clipped. All right, is your N, all right? So now you have GN in Greek. This word means beget, original. So, doesn't mean born into a land, all right? The original people of the land. As Europeans will say, I was born here.
Yes, they do.
That's what makes me an American. False, false, false. That's how they created colorful concepts to steal the land. That colorful concept of being born in the land. I'm Chinese because I'm born in China. Now, if a Chinese were born in Nigeria, they're Chinese. A Chinese born in Mexico, Chinese. Chinese born in Afghanistan, Chinese. See the concepts? All right? So in English, a child whose parents are English, mother's English, father's English. The child born in China, the child is a Chinese citizen, but not Chinese. Two different meanings. Two different meanings. Two different statuses. All right? Now, a Chinese citizen could be a Chinese, all right, or could be a Nigerian. Chinese citizen of Nigerian descent. Chinese citizen of Afghanistan descent. Chinese citizen of Mexican descent. Chinese citizen, all right? But a Chinese, all right, is not a Nigerian. It's not a French. It's not an English. It's not an Irish. It's not a German, all right? But Chinese citizen could be, and also including Chinese, all right? But this Chinese citizen, all right, would be what? A national. So the sovereignty is connected to the nationals. All right? So national, so we'll continue with this. We also have Nady here. All right, this is Civiliter motus. In full life. Give me the antithesis. In full life. So denotation is an in full life meaning. The connotation is civiliter motus. It's called civil death. It is dead in the eyes of the law. It is dead. A connotative meaning is dead in the eyes of truth. It's dead in the eyes of truth. All right? A connotative meaning can never stand when mother is present, when truth is present, when the true meaning is present. All right? Definition is the basis of law. This is why we must learn etymology. Because etymology is law. Because that is the true meaning. So if everything is measured up to the true meaning, or the mother. All right, so we have in full life, antithesis, civiliter motus. Impropria, persona, pro se. All right? Impropria persona, pro se. All right? For life. A natural person. A natural person is a flesh and bone human being. A flesh and bone being. All right? Natural person. Natural person. A corporate person is paperwork. Corporate person. Natural person. Corporate person. Natural person. Corporate person. Natural person. Corporate person. All right? Or straw man. Legal fiction. Artificial person. These all go together. All these go together, all right? Dred Scott, example. Dred Scott. Dred Scott, plaintiff in error, all right? So the issue was status. Not that he moved from a, connotatively speaking, a slave state, moved from a slave state, connotatively speaking, to a, when I say connotatively speaking, what I mean? I say, I'm qualifying. When I say slave state, I'm saying connotatively, I didn't say slave state, I said slave state, connotatively speaking. I said slave state, connotatively speaking. Why? Why did I do that? Why didn't I just say slave state?
Because there's no slave.
Thank you. I qualified what I said. I didn't say slave state without qualification. I said slave state, connotatively speaking, because he says no Slavic. There's no Slavic people living there. All right? No Slavic people living there, so there's no slaves. Now, it was in a slave state. So Dred Scott did not move from a slave state to a free state. Why? Because there were no Slavic people living there. There you go, brother. You know what I mean? No. Don't you ever accept that. Ever accept that. Ever. You love your children. You love your children and your grandchildren. Don't you ever accept it from no one. And he know you know what I mean. Say what you mean. Say what you mean. Slave is Slavic. You want to complain? You want to talk about the Europeans? All right, well, we got to change our language. All right? So we're going to use it. We have to qualify. So very key. All right? I speak with passion. I speak with passion. I will never apologize for speaking the truth. Never. All right? Any questions? Comments? All right, so this is just give you a further understanding or expansive understanding of denotation and connotation. All right, so you can look these words up. And I knew I had a few others in full life, and appropriate persona, and natural person. Rob, help me out. Sister Sandra, Sister, help me help. As give me some more words. Because I can't remember and think of any other words. I know this.
That question you asked me about the act about American alien.
But we have alien here.
No, the act, the question that you asked me when you were down the shop.
What's the question?
And I figured it out. I kept getting the wrong answer.
All right. All right, thank you. There we go. That's it. And I'm gonna erase these. All right, here we go. Now she give me another word. That's why, yeah. All right, here we go. I got it. That's all I need. I just need one word. Let's see. Once you give me one word, then all right. This is inalienable. All right. Alienable. All right. Unalienable means non-transferable, that which cannot be transferred. And capable, not capable, or being not capable, someone here, not capable of being transferred. So I did that. I-N, not, A-B-L-E, suffix, capable of being transferred. All right? Transferable. All right, so the denotative meaning means it's stand. It's what's called, another term, stare decisis. All right, those who've been studying. Stare decisis. Stare decisis. S-T-A, stand. All right, standing decision. Standing decision. It's permanent. Standing decision. Stare decisis. So denotative meaning is stare decisis. Connotative meaning is not stare decisis. It's not permanent. All right? It is temporary. All right. Another one. Color. Colorable. This is color. All right? And the antithesis is color means artificial in appearance, a simulacrum. That which appears to be real. So this is, color would be, antithesis would be real. Fake. Fraud, fake. All right, so antithesis for color is real. When I say antithesis, all right, I'm saying this because I had to break every word down. All right, I-T-H-E means put or place. Anti means against or opposite. I mean, y'all haven't seen me teach but once, all right? For those who've been here for this, who've seen me, who's been in this first class with me, all right? So, antithesis, all right? So that's what I'm talking about. Anyone else? Give me some more words. And inalienable. Oh, I got it. Feudal. All right, here we go. Feudal. This is feudal. All right, allodial. All right. Unconditional, pertaining to that which is unconditional. Allodial. All right. This is commerce. Trade. Commerce is trade. And antithesis, birthright, which cannot, birthright, inheritance. Not over here, excheating. Excheat, all right? Where the descendants is actually interrupted, all right? Excheat. So whereby the denotative or etymological and natural meaning is what? Interrupted. See what I did? All I did was, you take the meaning of the word, go to the Black's Law Dictionary, take the meaning of the word, and then you just apply it to the word, to denotation and connotation. So say, well, allodial is that which you own by, that's unconditional, unrestricted. All right? So you just apply it to denotation and connotation, and that's all I did. That's all I did. Just expand my knowledge of denotation and connotation and apply it to legal terms. All right? I want to thank you for, any questions before we end here. I have more time if y'all want me to continue, so that's up to you. It's not 907, 908. All right? Any questions? Yeah. All right. So this is what personal T. All right. All right. So we're in there. So let's make sure that Sister Shirley and Brother Will get these notes. They did this. They took Sister Zodeakus and Sister Ashira to the train station. All right. Right on. Right on. Right on. So no note still here. All right. Right. Oh, yes. I need the resume too, so we can. I need a resume. Yes. I don't check my email. Yeah. Yeah, only because I'm like in transit a lot, I'm here and yeah. So. All right. Me too. I'm gonna put the put the camera on pause. How to do that?
I'm standing up when I get my.
Stop. Stop.